Hi, my name is Karen Vassal-Bush, and welcome to virtual Ayurveda class on head, neck, and shoulders. I'm going to be recording this, so if you miss it today, you'll be able to catch it on the Cancer Resource Center for Western Maine. I'm a licensed massage therapist and an Ayurvedic practitioner, board certified with the National Ayurvedic Medical Association. I've also had extensive experience teaching, practicing yoga. My husband is a studies Qigong, has studied Qigong for over 20 years. And Qigong is a exercise. I'm going to be doing some of that here. It's from China, and it's for helping cultivate energy. So welcome everyone, and I'm going to make sure we're all muted here, or mute yourself if you just came in. And we're going to have, this is going to be mostly a virtual, practice. We're going to be doing our own massage for the head, neck, and shoulders. And I'm going to give you some tips of things I've actually practiced myself. I met a woman who was involved with better vision without glasses, and she showed me some exercises for the eyes to keep the eyes relaxed, because when our eyes are relaxed, our face and neck, especially our neck, it helps our neck. The back of the head, there are actually little muscles in the back underneath your occiput. If you if you move your eyes up and down, you can actually feel those muscles moving, and they're connected to the eyes. It's like the head bone's connected to the thigh bone. Well, this back is really, it's amazing. So when we're in a forward posture, looking at a screen or driving, we can get locked into that posture. So you get kind of a forward head. You've seen it, when you're I'm exaggerating, but you're driving on the road, or you're looking at a computer, or now I'm looking at the fine print, on the computer. And so things can get tight there. And it's important that we do something to kind of alleviate that, along with stretching and strengthening. They go hand in hand. So these muscles I mentioned in the back of neck, the suboccipital muscles are involved with eye movement. And that's a good place to address self-massage. We're going to be doing this seated on a chair. I asked you to bring a hand towel with you. We're going to take, and if you don't have one right now, I'll wait. wherever they are stashed. We're going to fold them on the diagonal, right? So we're going to take and fold them up, roll them. I should say roll them, not fold. But you get a roll, and you put it behind your neck. Now imagine if that was a little heated. Ooh, wouldn't that feel good? If you were going to heat this in a microwave, make sure you moisten it first. I've had experience burning towels, so you need to moisten it a little bit. But for this exercise, we don't need to moisten the towel right now. But we're gonna just place that around your neck and over your shoulders, and they're gonna have you sit in the chair with your feet flat on the floor, because that's important, because it helps the back have its natural curve. We curve in at the cervical, and then we have the thorax that kind of moves out a little bit, then lumbar. So we want to kind of keep that natural curve. And also, when you sit, you kind of feel like you're pulling up on the abdominal muscles. So there is some kind of strength and action going on there. So we're going to just begin. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for a moment. Take 3 breaths, and we'll make sure that they're long. The exhalation's a little bit longer. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 1 more. Notice your attention. Let it sink into your seat bones, so you can feel, imagine your shoulders are just moving down a little bit. This towel just reminds us to like relax the shoulders, bring it down a little bit. So we can just feel that it's a little bit of proprioception. It's not a lot, but it's a little. We're going to hold the ends of the towel and just move the towel a little bit on the neck. Just, move it around gently. It's almost like you're giving it a little, like a massage, like when you dry your back, right? How many of you dry your back? I mean, so we're just kind of moving it around. You can keep your eyes closed for this because I'm talking about the musculature on the neck, on either side of the neck, on the top of on the occipital, like I mentioned before. So just kind of gently moving that. And then just let your hands rest. Try to relax your shoulders. And let's bring our chin down towards our chest. Taking a breath in and then exhaling, look up. Not a real big strain. We're just going to do this 3 times. We're going to look down at your own pace and up. Now, sometimes I like to close my eyes because it really helps me focus internally. Relax your jaw. So when you've completed 3, we'll just come back to center and release your hands for a minute. Let them rest on your lap and just close your eyes. Maybe let your mouth be a little slack so you're not, your tongue can rest on the roof of your mouth. Just imagine your shoulders melting. Visualization is very powerful. So just imagining that your shoulders melting like a waterfall, just coming down the shoulders. This towel can feel like that, a gentle waterfall. Some people have those sprayers in their shower with the detachable head, and you can spray in the back with kind of hydrotherapy there. So we're going to come back with our hands on the towel, and this time we're just going to bring our right ear to our right shoulder and relax the right shoulder. So you don't want to bring the shoulder up to the ear. You want to bring the ear to the shoulder. Just feel that stretch on the left side. Breathe in, come back up. And we'll do that 3 times. Inhale, exhale. Great. Let it rest for a moment before you come back. Great. And one more time. And exhale. Right shoulder to right ear. Great. And then bring the head level again. And now we're going to take a breath in. And you guessed it, we're going to go left shoulder to left ear to left shoulder, not left shoulder to left ear. I was just testing. And then back. And again. And slowly. Just being really gentle. You can visualize even the waves in the ocean, maybe a very shallow ocean that has a long beach. And you're seeing those waves hit the shore, and they're just very soft waves, nice and gentle. So the 3rd time, going to bring the head back, and then again, release the arms, release the hands, let them rest on the knees, and close your eyes for a moment. And we're going to use putting our hands back, and we're going to look up with the towel, stretching underneath the neck, and then look down. And when you look down, see if you can kind of raise your abdominal wall so that you're really kind of focusing on the abdominal and the feet. So we're going to raise the chin again. And exhale down. And again. up, and down. So these are just very gentle little movements. We're not doing a lot here. We're going to come back to that little friction movement in the neck. Maybe go up a little bit. Ah, feels good. And down. Great. And up. Okay, and then release that. Bring your hands onto your lap. And we're actually going to put our hands right by our ribs for this next exercise. Now, this is a Qigong exercise. Let your arms relax for a minute while I explain it. This is called crane's neck, dragon's head. Now, have you ever seen a crane or a bird when they eat, they kind of dip their head down and then it comes back up again? Like if this was their beak, they go down and up. We're going to be doing that with our chin, and then we're going to reverse it and go this way. So I'll describe this, and then we're going to do what's called dragon's head. We're going to imagine we had two horns here, and we're going to move the chin to the side and to the side. By putting your arms on your rib cage, you're going to feel this movement go all the way down into the sides. So we're going to start with just lowering the chin down and then bringing it forward, up, and then tucking it in and back. So it looks like this from the side. Down, up, and back. So to me, it reminds me of a bird finding water. This is crane's neck. So we're feeling it. You might feel the stretch in the back even between the shoulder blades. So try that a few times. And then in a moment, we're going to reverse it. So when you bring your chin back, now we're going to bring our chin up, forward, down, and back in. So full up, forward, down. Another feeling like birds pecking. This time we're reaching forward with the chin. Coming down. Again, I do like to do this with my eyes closed because it really helps me focus. So going forward, down. Traditionally, this is done standing, but we're doing it seated. And we'll do a few more. It's really good for the neck. It's stretching it up and forward, the vertebrae, the little vertebrae in the cervical area. And then we'll release that. Now, the next thing we're going to do, let's just shake our hands out for a second in case they're getting tired. Rest to getting tired. This is called dragon's head. You imagine you have two little horns right here, and we're gonna just sit up straight, and we're gonna bring our hands back to this point by our ribs called the dabao, and we're gonna bring our right horn up to the ceiling, and then back down, and then the left horn up and down. So you're almost making a figure 8 with your chin. Your chin is not jutting out. It's kind of staying on the same plane. So it's very subtle, but you're stretching the side of the neck. Forward, up, and over. Try not to strain. If it feels, if you feel any pain, you want to discontinue, of course. Forward, up. Great. One more dragon's head. Nice. And then just release. Now put the hands again on the towel and let's just make some gentle circles around. They don't have to be very big. Just, little circles around, holding that towel in 3 in one direction. And slow them down. We have all the time in the world. And when you've done one direction, come back to center and we'll go to the other side. The tendency is to speed up a little bit, so think about just slowing it down. Really enjoying that, feeling like you're just, the muscles are responding, they're happy. You're kind of just saying hello to the neck and particularly in the shoulders also, you know, doing everything here. All right. May find yourself getting a little warmer. Feels like I'm, you know, to me, it feels like I'm getting a little warmer. Great, and come back to the side. And the last thing we're gonna do is just bring our hands down again. Center in, which means just centering, you know, closing your eyes for a moment, center. You take a full breath in, exhale out. Hold the towel, and we're just gonna look to the right as far as you can. Take a breath in when you're looking to the right, and then exhale forward. Inhale. Look to the left. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale forward. Let's do that a few more times. Just inhaling. Exhaling. Nice. To the other side. Exhaling. One more time. Oh, great. And exhaling. Now let's just bring that towel up and around. I'm gonna fold mine so it doesn't, maybe it doesn't have any tails. We're just gonna take this towel. You can also use a yoga strap, but I'm gonna take this towel over my head. Oops, I'm gonna have to move back here so you see me. Okay, and I'm just gonna stretch to the left. Lateral stretch. Make sure, look at your knees and then see that maybe one isn't moving forward. They're on the same, knees are even. Then come back up, reaching up. And I'm pulling. And I'm going to stretch to the right. We'll do this 3 times. So reaching right up and then stretching over. It's like you're trying to reach, maybe you're trying to grab something with both hands. Years ago, I saw this incredibly inspiring video of a woman who was born without arms, and she could grab cans of soup with her feet from her cabinet. I thought that was pretty amazing. And then come back up and over. And one more time. Up, over. One more time. Over. Great, and then bring it down. And I'm just going to make one adjustment to the computer in case we're getting, not getting a full, I don't know if we have full video. All right, so for this one, I'm just going to turn, twisting to the right, and then center, and to the left, and center, and again, to the right. Oh, center. If your arms get tired, you can always take a break. But you can see this is kind of strengthening because we're holding a little bit of a static position, but we're also reaching and stretching up. And again. Great, and then just release, come down. Let's give the shoulders a little shrug. I'm going to come back in closer again. Let's see if I can make my, change my screen up. Show thumbnail videos. Okay. All right, so that's, you know, if you could probably maybe feel it right now in the trapezius muscle, but that's a good, it opens things up. You know, that's part of what we do, what can be done with that. Now, the instruction for the self-massage, you can use oils for this, but right now we won't. And I will talk about some oils that are really great. Like I mentioned, the facial oil that I make is fantastic. People love it, and it's a small You only make a small amount and it goes a long way. So because of COVID, we're probably not going out and getting face massage. You know, I mean, I'm not doing it in my office right now. I'm not, they advise not to. So we're going to do a little version of our own. I'm going to be a little messy. We're going to be working with our hair and our scalp because, you know, there's so many muscles. If you've ever seen an anatomy chart, there's so many muscles in the head and the scalp. And whenever you have ever gone to a hairdresser and they'll shampoo your hair, usually feel like jelly afterwards. I mean, I love it. I mean, just like, can you do that again? You know, it's like, and now some places will put a hot towel around your neck. I was like, wow, this is great, which is something that you can try too. So I'm going to take off my glasses for this, and we're going to begin with the scalp. We're going to divide the scalp into 3 parts. So this is 1 part, the side of the head. The top of the head is 2, and the back of the head is what I consider the 3 parts. So you're going to just take, before we get started, let's activate our hands, because we are working with our hands. If you put your hands together in Anjali Mudra and just kind of open that up a little bit, the fingertips are touching, you may feel some heat in your hands, because this is a traditional greeting in India. Namaste. We're gonna work with a mudra. Mudras are energy seals, and they work with the energy part of our energy body. We have many sheaths of energy. We're like a layer of an onion. And this mudra is called the prana mudra. So it's almost like I think it's like the Boy Scout promise. I think the Girl Scout promise is 3 hands. I'm not sure. But you put your thumb and your ring finger and your little finger together, and you hold the other 2 up. And you want to just let them rest on your lap if you can. Try not to press too hard. You want to be able to feel the arterial pulse in the fingers. So we're going to just sit for a moment and close our eyes to generate prana. This is the prana energy in the body. This is one of the Vata subdoshas of Vata, prana Vata, and it's for cultivation of energy. It also helps reduce anxiety and nervousness. Anything to do with, you know, a Vata mudra would be a grounding mudra. In mudra land, the thumb is the pitta finger. It's fire. These 2 fingers are Vata, and these 2 fingers are Kapha. So these 2 fingers are air, and these 2 fingers represent earth. So we are taking the earth and the fire together and having the air be straight up. So thinking about, if you think about earth and fire, imagine a campfire. It's in the ground, on the ground, right? So it won't burn the woods down. You make a hole, you know, you make a place for the campfire. You put the wood on the earth, and then you light it, and you have this beautiful fire that it's energy. So that's what we're creating in our body with this prana mudra. So I want to invite you to close your eyes. Feel that pulse, just gently holding the fingers. You can hold them up if it's okay for your, shoulders. This is prana mudra. You can practice these mudras 15 minutes a day. They're very good. They build more practice. It's like anything, they will build up the neural circuitries, and they'll help increase the prana in your body. So we're getting ready for the face massage. We're going to activate the hands with the prana for a moment, and then I'm going to open your eyes and just kind of let your fingers relax, and let's go into the scalp and just kind of give ourselves a root lift. We're going to massage the sides of the head. You remember there was a science called phrenology, which would study the shape of the skull and make they make suppositions about a person. But so you can go side to side, horizontal, and then you can go vertical, whatever floats your boat for that. And then we're going to go to the back. I like to hold my forehead, and I'm going to go into the back because it just feels good. I'm gonna rub. You know, it's fine to do this with a little bit of oil on your hands because it's really good for the scalp. So a tiny bit of oil, like fine quality or organic, even olive oil. You want to make sure it's organic. You can use, I like to use an oil, it's called Rotuma oil. It's from the island of Fiji. It's pretty exotic, but it's very good. And we're going to come to the top of the head. I'm going to hold the back of the head and I'm going to slice through the top like this. Now notice I have to remind myself not to clench when I'm doing this. I want to relax my jaw, relax my face, just kind of get the whole scalp kind of activated. Feels good. Just do it for a little while. And then you can release that, maybe comb your hair out. If you're on, you know. And now just let your hands relax again on your thighs and feel that. You may feel a little lightness in the head area. I always do when I do this. The next one we do for massage for the face, I'm going to move my hair out of the way because we're going to massage our ears. In acupuncture, the ears, the whole body is represented in the ear. So we're going to start with the outer rim, then go to the middle, and then go right in. And I'm going to start at the top. No particular reason for that, I don't think. And then I kind of switch. If I'm out here, I'm going to switch my hands under and kind of pull on the earlobes. Make sure you don't have any earrings on that would hurt. But you want to kind of make a little rounded massage. Not too hard. I mean, you know, it's a little delicate. I can show you another move for that too, which you can come up underneath the ear, on top of the ear and just rub it. Oh, that feels good. Rubbing the back of the ear. There's a movement I do when someone's on the table. I take my hands, it's like a scissor, and I go in. But it's hard to do on your own. But anyways, we're going to go on the outside. Then the middle. Now the middle, you might open them up a little bit. I'm sorry, I can't help but think of the movie Dumbo with the large ears, but that's all right. Better to hear you with, right? And then at the, I take my index finger, I actually go into the ear and I pop it. So I go in, pop, right, pop it out. Then the fingers go behind the mandible in the jaw. And we're just gonna make gentle circles. Maybe moving the masseter, you know, this is the strongest, these muscles are the strongest muscles in the body. The second strongest is the quadratus, which it has to do with bending forward. So it's kind of crazy. But because, you know, we do need to eat, these muscles are stronger. If you have TMJ, this can feel pretty good. I'm using my middle finger. You can use the index also. These two fingers for massage tend to be weaker, the ring particularly and the little finger. So I think that your strength's going to come with the first and the Ayurveda fingers. So I'm going to make circles, and I haven't really dictated which way you go. It doesn't really, to me, I think it's fine. It doesn't matter. You might want to come down into the jaw and just pinch down, just kind of, oh, feels like you're moving things around. And then you can just hold that for a minute. Close your eyes. Maybe press in, hold it. Maybe open and close your jaw just a little. Move it around. Check out your bite. Boy. Okay, and then release, and let's bring our hands back down on our laps again. Onto your knees. Feet are on the floor. Next thing we're going to do is work on the trapezius, and I do this in 3 sections. The front near the collarbone, then the middle, and then kind of the back. So I'm just going to start with my opposite hand. I like to hold my elbow, kind of a, you know, easy way. And I'm just going to take, again, those 2 fingers, and I'm going to start making circles near, at the top of the trapezius. You can kind of dig in there a little bit, find it. massage it. There's lots of different ways we can access this muscle, but you know, see if gently you can just kind of move down. You can move down to the middle. I'm going to do both sides. And then I take it and I take my finger, my thumb, and I put it on the inside of the trapezius and my hands on the back, and I start squeezing that. And moving down, kind of moving out. I think we got someone that's having trouble staying on. I'm sorry about that. We are recording this, so you'll get to see it. So you can actually take your thumb and move it back. So you want to kind of move this trapezius back. Because of our shoulders coming forward, we want to move it back a little bit. An excellent, while we're doing this, I'll tell you, an excellent yoga posture that's a restorative is a supported chest opener for trapezius, for the upper back, for opening it up. And I have a setup I'll show you in a minute on the floor what that looks like. So release that, let that go. We're going to go to the other side. We're going to just take the fingers and just gently kind of massage between the little hollow spot there. Again, I'm holding my elbow. Why not? Now, you can add on as many things as you want with a shoulder, with a neck and face massage. We did the scalp, we did the ears, we kind of moved down to the shoulders. We will move up again to the face. If I can, I'll send you the directions. I'd like to move on to some other things, but we'll continue with the trapezius right now. So then I'm going to take that thumb again and pull it back, kind of pulling it back. And I'm holding the elbow. I'm just kind of moving it back. Whatever you do, you don't want to cause strain in another part of your body, right, when you're doing this. You can also grab, squeeze, grab, squeeze. Another thing you can do is a little bit of karate chop. Just gently. See, I'm not doing too much because you can still hear my voice is pretty clear. So you could do that on both sides. Yeah, just a gentle. And then just let's do a little manual lymphatic. We're just going to bring just kind of swiping a little bit from the collarbone, bringing it out to the shoulders and making little circles around. Nice, around. Now moving on to the face. The eyebrows, we're going to use our thumb and our index finger in like a pincer motion for the eyebrows. So we can do that together. We're going to start in the center, kind of just pinch a little bit. And again, you might want to, if you have glasses, you probably want to take them off. You might find there's a little point right where the middle, the inside of the eyebrow, where you just kind of want to massage. You can feel the ridge of the eye. Give that very gentle, because that's a real, the skin's finer here, it's thinner. Now we want to come down here on the sides of the eye. There's a marvelous point. You can just kind of hook and hold it and breathe. We're not poking our eyes. I want to make sure you have short nails. No long nails here. Then we can come out to the temple and just kind of gently rub. Again, we can take those two fingers, two Vata fingers, kind of rub the temples. And we can come down, trace the jawline again, and kind of leave that there. We're going to use, the last thing I think we're going to do for the face is what's called raindrops. So your fingers are going to be like little gentle drops of rain. And going to come all over the face and the head. So imagine you got caught in a rainstorm, but it was a good thing because, it was summer and you were at the beach already in your bathing suit or something. And it wasn't dangerous. There was no thunder and lightning. And you were just, feeling that lovely shower. Or you were at one of those kids' parks when they have those shower things I think the kids go into. Like this. all around the face. It really soothes the central nervous system to do that. You can even go down to your, again, your shoulders, kind of tap, tap. Let's come here to the center of the chest, thymus tap. I'm just going to throw that in because that's really good for the immune system. Thymus tap. And then we can just let our hands rest on our heart. Excuse me, I'm going to take some water. So especially right now, I think self-care is so important to do. And massage, like I mentioned before, putting some oil in your hair is excellent for your head, for the your hair. Let me just mention a couple things about strengthening. You have an excellent exercise class. I think it goes on Friday with Erin. I believe it's Erin Johnson, and her class sounds great. What I use, what I recommend you can use for stretching, is a TheraBand. I mean, you can use these behind to stretch to use the trapezius. The triceps. This works because it stretches. It's crazy. It's a stretchy band. The other recommendation, if you're into a weight, I've got, these are 5-pound weights, and this exercise that actually uses, I have my knee on the chair. I'll be able to see that, but I am just pulling up. So I am stretching and strengthening the center of the back. And I'm just keeping this really level by keeping my knee on this chair and my hand down. I'm just keeping this straight. I'm just moving this up and down. So that's one for the back between the shoulder blades. Name escapes me right now. Sorry, blanking out. A lighter weight for, I have 2 pounds. You wanted to do for the trapezius, right? That's good. Another, of course, for the biceps. So anytime you strengthen this area, your chest, you're helping your shoulders and neck, obviously, because your head, I think, weighs, it varies. Some people say, I think they said between 9 and 7 pounds or something. So if it's forward, it's going to be straining the back a little bit. So let me talk about the energy points with essential oils for the different dosha expressions. Now, when I talk about doshas, I'm just using a general term. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata is the air and the space and air. And Vata disturbance would be if you were anxious or feeling anxiety, restlessness. The top of the head is a great place to start to kind of calm yourself. And the way you get there is to take your hand and put it on the full palm, and then that point behind the palm is a marma point. And you can circle that. It's called Murdini, Murdhini. So you start at the top of the head for, let's say you're trying to get to sleep at night. You can do that 3 times. And then you can move to the sides of the nostrils and just kind of rotate it 3 times. And then the temples, making circles. Above the lips. Below the chin. And let go. So let's do that again. It's the top of the head, and you find that by coming back. And this is a mudra for concentration and stability. I'm just going to use my right hand. And nostrils. I'm doing 5 circles, and then temples. Above the chin. below the chin. Great. And then you fall asleep. Now, Pitta, to calm the Pitta dosha, and Pitta is fire and water. So Pitta would be if you're feeling irritable. Everything is, it's all there, whatever. We get that way, some of us. So this one, you start right above the ear where the eyeglasses go around. And you just we're going to do 3 circles there. That relieves emotional strain, headaches. And we will go to the top of the head. Just nice and firm, more firm with Pitta, a little more firm, but not agitated. You want to be kind of firm and clear with the Pitta. And then you're going to go to either side of the epiglottis, and we just kind of circle there. That's ice falling off the roof. And finally, we're just going to work the hands on the heart. So that helps with the subdosha, Sadhaka Pitta, which is when the heart is a little wounded or it's unhappy, and it kind of takes it out on others. So that's how we end with that. There's different aromas for each one. We'll go to the Kapha next. So the Kapha one, we're going to start with the third eye, and we're just going to be very a little stronger. We're going to make circles. This is over the pineal gland. It coordinates the energy. So it's bringing energy into the body, helping Kapha kind of move. Kapha is water and earth, so it can get to be a little depressing, kind of slow. If you want to move up out of something, you can you can even do a little tapping there. And then just below the collarbones on either side, you can start with circles. And then Kapha is good. It's good to stimulate Kapha, so tapping is a great idea. Maybe just tapping all over a little. Tarzan tapping. This is for Kapha. Right. Ooh. In fact, even making sounds for Kapha, because Kapha everything can get a little stagnated. So Then to the navel, hand goes right on the navel. Maybe for women, right hand first, left hand over. That's a Qigong. From Qigong for men, it's the opposite. Just has to do with the energy signature. Take a breath in, breath out. And then we're going to end with the hands on the knees. Because the Kapha the whole Kapha dosha resides in this area all the way down to the knees from the chest. So think about Kapha, when you're a kid, you're in the Kapha stage of life and you tend to get more chest colds and things like that. So we end with the hands on the knees and maybe just tapping them a little bit. All right. So let me talk about the essential oils for each doshic expression. For grounding, which would be for Vata, I would recommend a lavender because it's soothing. I've got one right here. I'll open it up so you can smell it. Virtually, I'll tell you what it smells like. Oh my gosh, it's lovely. Lavender is very soothing. Lavender is probably what your grandmother put in under her pillow for good night's sleep. So lavender would be a one essential oil of choice. Rose geranium is also another one. I don't think I have that with me right now. It's not as expensive as Rose Absolute, and it has a wonderful floral scent, and it's sweet. It's so lovely. And geranium also is a nice one too. But rose, geranium, lavender removes anxiety and fear. So it helps with that anxiety, helps alleviate it. Not 100%, but you have to remember that what we're breathing in goes right into the limbic system, into the brain. So it is kind of direct. And for Pitta, would be calming. So we're looking for something calming. So sandalwood is very calming and soothing. Sandalwood's a wonderful oil, as is chamomile. That's a wonderful oil too. And lemongrass, that pacifies anger and frustration. And then for kapha, would you need something uplifting, something motivating? So think the firs, the spruces, like rosemary. It's not a fir, but it's a bush. And mint or eucalyptus, it helps relieve depression and lethargy. And of course, eucalyptus works directly with the um, respiratory system. So just think about eucalyptus. There's, I think, 500 species of eucalyptus. So that's a great thing. Now, what I do, you seldom do you put this directly on your skin. Essential oils can be a little harsh. So you need to dilute them in a carrier oil. I use jojoba oil, and this is an inexpensive one. It's from Now Company. You can get other types, but jojoba has a long shelf life. So I would use jojoba um, for an oil. And I will give you right now the recipe I have for face oil, because the skin can get fragile for many reasons. If you had chemotherapy, the skin can be really fragile. If you've been out in the sun a lot, the skin can get fragile. If when we age, the skin gets a little fragile. So I mix up this is about 15 milliliter bottle. Not about, it actually is. And I mix up jojoba oil, which I will do right now. Some lucky person will get this skin oil. I'll have a contest. So I'm gonna just pour it in what I have left. Whoops, a little bit too much. Good enough. Good thing I have a towel handy. I had a towel. Here I do. Yep. Okay. So I've poured 15 milliliters into this bottle, which is a clean bottle. And let me just put the lid on the jojoba. And I'm going to use an essential oil called vetiver. Vetiver. Now, vetiver is a grass grown in India, and its signature is that it helps shore up erosion. So, because it has a lot of thick roots, so that the sides of the roads and things don't, it's amazing grass. It's grown, it's in places where the erosion could occur, like in confluences of water. So it has this affinity for integration. And that's what it does with our skin. It integrates, it helps the bottom layer of the skin, it helps firm it up. So with this, this particular thing, you put in 8 drops of vetiver. I'm just going to tap it, see if I get 8. Vetiver is very thick, sticky, so it's going to take me a little while to get it in there. It's kind of on the lid, on the rim, but it will come in. It will go in there because I'll shake it up. 4, 5. And it's kind of fun to make your own oil. You put your energy into your product, and it's really makes it special. 6. Yeah. It's very sticky, and it sort of smells like valerian. It has that very heavy, strong smell. I'm just going to close that up. Close up my vetiver. A shout out to Floricopia, David Crow. This is one of his recipes, so thank you. David and Sarah Crow have a wonderful essential oil business in California. The next one is clary sage, which is I think it's a hormone modulator, but I have to look that up again. Clary sage has a very pungent smell. It almost smells like moss in the ground. So I'm going to add 8 drops of that, and that's going to come out faster. So you can tap, the way these essential oils are set up, you could just tap, usually just tap on the bottom, and they'll come out as a drop form. And then the last thing I'm putting in is lavender. This lavender is from Floricopia, and it's from Kashmir. So it's Kashmiri lavender. Lavenders have different qualities depending upon where they're grown. They take the quality of the soil, and they take on that quality. So this one's very exotic. It's lovely. So I got 8 drops in there. And this bottle will last a very long time for face oil. I mean, it could last almost a year. And shake it up, and you just add just a few drops in your hands. You know, I put a few drops in my hands in the morning and then just kind of press it on my face. And I like to follow it up with a hydrolate. Now, hydrolates are when they make essential oils, usually they steam distill them in like a still. So the water, they take the plant material, they mash it up, they heat it, and it goes through this steam process, and the water that's excreted at the end is saved as a hydrolate. So it's they actually sell them in spray bottles. This one is frankincense hydrolate. I haven't been able to find it. I got it maybe a year ago. I think I've used most of it, but after I put, you may be able to find it from the Floricopia. Hopefully they'll have it back in stock. But I put a little oil on my face. I put that on, of course, without my glasses. This is pre-makeup after I've showered. And then I put the hydrolate on, spray it on my hand, and I just press it into my face because it seals that oil. And frankincense has an interesting property that it lightens age spots. So it kind of lightens and brightens the complexion. So it's a wonderful, that's face oil. The other oil that you can get that will help for fragile skin is called carrot seed. And that again is a very thick oil. And you can add that to your carrier oil for facial products. Let me see. A couple of extras I'll give you for tension in the head, neck, and shoulders. Mentioned before about this, towel. Well, in the morning, you can take a face cloth and wet it down and put it, if you have a microwave, put it in the microwave on 30 seconds and then just put it behind your neck. And it's just about the right temperature. When you take it out of the microwave, you want to shake it. You see steam coming off of it. Then you can lower it back over the back, right here. And it kind of creates this nice warmth. They make several, I think, towel wraps, neck wraps for, relaxing the shoulders. I showed you the prana mudra that can help for bringing our energy, kind of connect our energy. There's another mudra that you just put your fingertips all together. And this one, if you're having any pain, you can kind of just direct that right to that area. I'll have to look up the name of that. I forgot right now. So that's a direction. You're taking all the fingertips and just adding, putting them in a spot right there. Now, if you're on screens and you're using screen time, the other thing is to take breaks. Every 20 minutes, it's really good to take a break. Look out the window, look up at the horizon, because it helps, your eyes relax. Another thing is to use palming, where you actually take your hands and cover your eye, and you keep that eye open that's covered, and you close the other eye, and you look at complete darkness. That relaxes the eye muscles. So you want to do that on both sides. That's a very good thing for head, neck, and shoulders. Frequent blinking is good because it hydrates the eyes. So, and that takes strain off the head, neck, and shoulders. When we're trying to concentrate, we usually really, there's something going on where our head may be moving way, we're trying to work with our head. It's not quite there. Let me show you the setup for the chest opener that I have. It's pretty simple. Right there. You can see I've got a bolster that's on an angle. I don't know if you can tell, but it is. It's on an angle with 2 blocks, and I'm going to just sit very close to that. And I'm going to come back. Now, if you had another bolster, you could put it under your knees if you needed that for your low back. But this is opening the chest. You can see it's opening this whole area here. You might want to even put your hands up on a towel. But this is the chest opener. Good to stay in this for what you can tolerate, maybe 10, 15, maybe 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Another one that's very good is called legs up the wall. I think I can show you that. So for legs up the wall, actually the Prita Karani, let me just show you this on the side. I won't even go to the wall. This is an inverted shoulder stand. Right, so you're lying down, you might need a block, Lying down with your feet, your knees are bent, and I'm gonna put the block under my sacrum, and I'm gonna just lift my feet. And I've got a little pressure on the tops of my shoulders. If I was next to a wall, it's very comfortable. When you're next to a wall, you don't have to, your feet are just not hanging in midair. So you can do it next to a wall. My hands are out, my palms are up, because I want to open my chest. So this is great for chest, for the back, between the shoulder blades. So this actually gives a nice stretch here. Final one that I do, and I will just open up, there we go. All right. So I have a great wall. I don't mind if I use it all the time just to open and close. Now that's one. Then you can go into what's called a W. So I'm going W and down. So I'm doing a little strengthening and stretching. And W and down. And then kind of, you can come up and go down again. You can actually just think of a lot of different ways that you could move. This is like a snow angel. This is really like the W. I'm feeling it in the levators and the back, the muscles in the back. So that's another one for the face, the neck, not the face, for the shoulders, for the neck. So I'm gonna stop the recording right now. We might have a couple of questions, and for questions and answers.